Welcome to Journey to Joy Live, a podcast to promote wellness, resilience, and inspire joy. Be empowered to balance your mental, physical, financial, aspirational, and social health while providing mental health awareness and breaking down the stigma of mental illness in the Black community. I'm your host, Dr. If Joy, and I'm here to help you transform life's challenges into opportunities for joy. Let's begin the journey together. Hello, welcome to episode 158. Why you keep doing the things that stress you out? Well, it's because you have to. Okay, podcast episode is over. That's it. Good night. Nope, just kidding. Honestly, what I'm thinking about is parenting. Why do I keep parenting, even though it stresses me out? Because I have to. But we'll get into those kinds of things too. But I have a special guest, Rosa, and I'm going to have you pronounce your own last name because I forgot to ask you.
Henao. It's like hey now. Yes.
Henao. Rosa Henao. So she
Yes.
is a social worker and a registered clinical social worker. Thank you for coming. And I invited you on the podcast because you were so sweet to buy. Actually, you bought the whole Joy bundle.
Yes, I did. I have it right here
Hey, she's got it. She's got
in
it.
the journal.
Hey, thank you so much for your support. I really
You're very
appreciate
welcome.
it. So tell us what you got out of the book, because I know you read the book.
Yes, yes, yes. I mean, I connected a lot with just with the whole book, with the struggles, the accomplishment, the ups and downs, the doubts, and being an overachiever overall and doing it all together. So it was just reading it from, I started reading the book and I didn't stop until I finished it. I'm like,
Oh,
oh my God, like it just hit home for me.
thank you. Thank you. It
Yes.
really is a page turner. Not to toot my own horn. I did the same thing after I published it. I got on the plane and I was just like, wow. Because like from writing to publish, it's like a long time goes by. So I'm like, okay, because sometimes you get imposter syndrome. Why do I write these things? Why do I do these things?
Yeah.
You don't realize how awesome you
And
are.
even from yeah, I mean like the challenges from med school and just like all the obstacles and how you were able to just persevere until you were able to achieve your goals. And I relate to that a lot. I have had my own ups and downs and I push myself until eventually I accomplish my goal. However, I learned to slow down
Good.
because I know as individuals of trying, any goals that we want to achieve,
Mhm,
we can burn out very easily. And I know in the
mhm,
past I
mm.
did many times
Yeah.
because it's just so much going on, being a parent, doing so many things at once, and then trying to stay focused with your goal. It's just something that is inevitable to burn down.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've reached a point in my life where I've unlearned those patterns and
Yeah.
I unlearned unhealthy patterns. I learned how
Mhm.
to do things in a healthy way where I'm in a position now when I'm able to also motivate and help others to just pick up on healthy patterns and do things differently.
That is so good. And that's what it's about, to unlearn the unhealthy patterns so that you won't continue to go through burnout. Because I mean, that's what we're talking about, is why you keep doing the things that stress you out. I mean, sometimes we feel like we have to, or we feel like that's just what we're supposed to do. Like that
Yeah.
burnout is
We
the
are
result.
yeah, we're programmed already to like have to do it all, doing it all at once. And
Yes.
it's just like it's just like an autopilot,
Mhm.
right? And I'm just so glad again, like I'm in a point of my life and I'm like, wow, I can't believe I survived and did all that throughout the
Mm.
years.
Mm.
As a mother, I continue my education and I
Mhm.
finished my master's degree while, raising my daughter,
Wow. That's
while
beautiful.
having her in so many different extracurricular activities. I
Mhm.
believed on just, keeping her, not just keeping her occupied, but exposing her to just different environments from cooking, sports, ice
Oh,
skating,
yeah.
dancing,
That's
theater.
good.
Oh my God, you name it, she did it.
That's so
She was
awesome.
always like, she was also involved, like in church,
Mhm.
doing like the first communion, the confirmation. It was just like so much, but it helped me to um to stay in a way like to stay busy and stay centered because I
Yeah.
didn't have throughout those years like I didn't have room to feel sad or depressed. So it helped us hard.
Mm. So, and
While
that's
she
another
was,
thing.
yeah,
Keeping
while
busy can
she
help.
was, yeah, her education,
Yeah.
like, again, playing sports and everything.
Hmm.
And once things started dying out, she started like outgrowing, or middle school came, then high school came, and she started driving. She's ending high school,
Wow.
started college. So it's like even from her last semester, it was now in late May, right? And even in January, I was already like, oh my God, what I'm gonna do in my life? She's going off to college. Like, what's next in my life?
Oh, and that's the thing too. Like you inherit the role. I'm mom, so you do everything as a mom and everything for your child, everything for your daughter. And
Yeah,
then once they go and do their own thing and they're independent, it's like, oh, what do I do now?
yeah,
Who am
yeah. So I
I?
started, yeah, I know. So I started, getting involved more in my community. I do
Good.
participate in my church. I'm Catholic, and I go on Thursdays. I normally go to a group in my church. So I didn't go
Uh-oh,
today
you
because
missing
I'm
that for
sick.
me.
Yes.
Thank you.
But I go to mass on Sunday, and
Mm,
I go to like a educational program on every like once a Saturday. And then there's other programs from my community, other like groups with like I'm part of this like Amiga club where we like
mhm.
link, I try to participate in their events, so have also like the social life and everything. There's also like a dancing group that I participate to
Oh,
also
that's
just like
awesome.
continue to embrace me and continue to
Mhm,
do things for me,
mhm.
right? And something that you ask about your book, like what I got out of it and
Yeah.
what I'm currently doing is
Mhm.
pouring back to myself,
Oh, that's great.
nurturing myself. So I'm
That's all
like,
it's
oh my
about.
God, I started with that.
That is so awesome. Putting yourself back on the priority list because we got this list, we have our little schedule, everybody else is on it, and where do we fall? Like it seems silly, like to put me on our calendar, but you literally have to, or else you forget. You won't do it.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. And and that's that's the whole big picture. Then we also have family, we have siblings, we have events. We have so many other things
Hmm.
that, we continue to support and just like give a lot of us and
Hmm.
we reach that point where it's like, okay, just pouring back to myself and
Hmm.
doing things in a healthy way and feeling okay without guilt.
Okay, without guilt, doing it without guilt. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
That is awesome. Well, thank you for sharing because it's so important for us to do that. And we're really putting the cart before the horse here. I think we're talking about what to do so that you're not doing the things that stress you out. But tell us more
Yeah.
about your career. So you are a registered social worker. What do? You do therapy, you do coaching. What do you do?
Yes. So I work in school. I work in a school
Ooh.
in Illinois. So I work virtually, and
Ah.
I dedicate myself to help families and students who are struggling with social emotional issues, behavior
Mm.
challenges. I help with the IEPs. I participate in the IEPs for families. Just work parents through plano the 504 plan if they have like any questions.
Mhm.
And also at a non-clinical level, I also work with adults and I
Nice.
support just individuals who are going through like personal like hardship, going through
Yeah.
like loss, separation,
Mm.
um, or just emotional difficulties and how to cope with their situation to again to transition from survival to peace and do things
Mhm.
differently. Yeah. And in addition to all that, I also am a co-founder of a Spin and Still. And
Mhm.
it's a company where we um, do photography, of
Mhm.
photo booth and video productions
Oh,
for
that's
events.
needed.
Yes, yes, yes. So that's like my daughter's psychic right now with like the photo booth, and she does
Oh,
that on
yeah,
the
those are
side in
so cute.
college. So
People love those. Where are you
yes, yes.
physically located?
I'm in Florida. I'm in Cape Coral.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, we're next
Yes,
door. I'm
yes,
in
yes.
Georgia. That's
Yeah, yeah.
great.
So I
That's great.
do a little bit of everything. Um, Well, I also work in one addition to that, I was forgetting. I also do clinical work with foster girls.
Mm.
Yeah, so I provide clinical service to girls in the foster
Oh,
system.
you're doing a lot.
Yeah,
That's great. That's good.
yeah,
I mean, it's
yeah.
good, it's fulfilling, but it's kinda like, what are you doing for yourself? But you already mentioned that, so you are doing those things for
Yes,
yourself because
yeah,
our field can be very difficult where
Yes.
we are taking in all the stress and all the burdens and all the traumas of other people, the vicarious
Yes.
trauma.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So fortunately, I work, for the school system, so I have the summers off. So I have some free time now.
Oof,
Not free, but I have some
beautiful.
some
Because you work
available
in the
time
school.
to pour back into myself and do things slowly. When the end of August comes, I go back to my like regular schedule, and so on. And the other jobs are part-time, so it's not overload that I'm doing everything around the clock. Also, I have an undergrad in organizational leadership, and I'm a
Oh.
planner by nature, so I'm able to keep a structured schedule to
Mm-hmm.
fit in, like my the contracts that I have to work and make money and still be able to enjoy myself and not burnt out.
Exactly.
Uh,
So, I mean, you're saying it all. We're talking about why do you keep doing things that stress you out?
yeah.
When we say that in the title, I mean, what comes to your mind that people are doing or continuing to do that stress them out?
Yeah. Um, and just patterns, right? I putting myself as an example,
Mhm.
as a working mom, just being on go mode 24/7 and
Mm.
understanding, right, that you have to get things done and nonstop just doing things to accomplish everything. So it's like
Mhm.
knowing that, and knowing that is a lot, and why do we continue to do it? So, and I
Yeah.
lived it. I lived it for, I want to say for many, like 70 years, right? Throughout like my
Yeah.
daughter was born and until like now that she went off to college. So
Yeah.
that was like literally my whole path.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. The patterns, the unhealthy habits we were saying earlier,
Mhm.
we just keep doing it. It seems to work for us, but we keep doing it. Or maybe we don't realize it's stressing us out. And then when we
Yeah.
realize it's stressing us out, it's like it's going to take too much to change it. And when it
Yeah.
comes to parenting, I've joked about it like, why do you keep parenting if parenting stresses you out? But obviously, there's things that you have to keep doing. You can't just abandon
Hmm.
it because it stresses you out. But of course, there's ways to work around it so that it won't stress you out because parenting is both a joy and a stressor. We can actually
Yeah.
make it more of a joy.
Yeah, and then, when we look at the whole picture, right? We
Mhm.
are like self-aware, and self-aware the things that we're supposed to do, and we also like
Yeah.
good behavior where
Mm.
yes, where we know what to do, but we function at a different speed. So there's like two different things when it's like, you again, you know what to do, but then you do something different just because you're so used to doing
So used to
things
it.
like ongoing,
It's
and it's like
comfortable,
realizing,
I
yeah,
guess.
like realizing that, so then
Yeah.
put a pause and say, no, like I have to do it differently. There's other ways to get it done.
Yeah, because even though it's like a stress and burnout, and I say
Yeah.
it's comfortable, and I'm just like, that's weird. But no, I mean that
Yeah.
it is comfortable, even though it is
Yeah.
stress. But
Yeah.
it's like doing that foreign thing, that fearful
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
causes issues too.
For instance, for me, it was uncomfortable. At the beginning, it was uncomfortable to not have
Mm.
anything to do, to be calm, because
Mm.
it was new. Because I'm
Mhm.
so used to doing so many things that
Yeah.
when my schedule was free, it's like I was already looking
Mm.
like I had to fill it up. I have to put things on my calendar.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I'm like, wait, why? Why I continue to do this? Right. And then it's like,
Yeah.
okay. It's like I don't. And I'm like, and again, not feeling guilty with not putting anything in the calendar and not doing anything.
That's a high achiever and that's an overachiever because I did used to feel like I had to have my plate full in order to have good time management. And it was true. It's like if I had too much space and nothing to do,
Hmm.
then I would procrastinate. But when I had lots of different
Yeah.
things to do, like, oh, I had to study for that test,
Oh
plus I
my
had to
God.
go to the club meeting, plus the choir rehearsal, plus this, that, and the other. I'm thinking about college. That's when I was more focused. It's so weird.
Yeah, like for me, for instance, like grad school, like my last two semester, there was times where I had like a lot of help with my daughter going to her games, and there were times when I had free time, and then finals game, I'm like, why do I leave it for the last minute? Like I had so much time to do it, and then in a matter of like very quick, I hope my professors are not watching this. Like I'll finish my papers and I'm like, oh, I wish I could have done this, 3 days ago.
Exactly. Well, you know what? There's phases in our life where it seems like that mentality and those unhealthy patterns work. But like I'm thinking about like, yeah, college that worked out. But right
Mm,
now, filling my plate like that, I get burnout more easily, right? The
yes.
threshold is a little bit lower
Yeah.
to actually fall into that burnout.
Yeah. Especially when you've learned so much, also like
Mm-hmm.
about yourself, and you make that choice. No, you want to be calm. You want to be at peace. You don't want to have to do it all.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then, yeah.
exactly. You
And
realize that no is important and that guilt is not a thing
yeah.
anymore. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking a lot about ambition. I mean, overachievers or high achievers. Now, at what point do you think ambition becomes self abandonment?
Yeah. Yeah. When you do things just to accomplish the goal and just forget about yourself, when it's just about, for instance, in my case, if I would have just focused on just getting the master's degree and not taking that time out to like link up with a friend and like disconnect for a little bit, right, and just granted just to get my master's degree, but just neglecting myself completely. So it's like finding that balance, because yes,
Yeah.
we can be ambitious, but once we forget of ourselves, it
Yeah.
it just changes the whole dynamic. We
Yeah,
have
just
to
to
be able to um pour in ourselves while we are you know a- accomplishing what we want, and
mhm.
enjoy it and have that, and embrace what we're doing, not just to get it done, not just to check off a
Exactly.
a check
Oh,
mark.
I definitely was doing that in
Yeah.
college, just checking it off, and that's when I turned around and realized, "Oh, I got a 1.9 GPA. I'm not at a point where I can go straight to med school." But yeah, just doing it just
Yeah.
to check a box, but also just doing it just to get a letter behind your name, or just
Yeah.
doing it to get to be honored or to have a certain position and to
Yeah.
have this role. And it's just like, why are you chasing after role after role? I'm talking to these people that's in these organizations, these leadership roles, and you in
Yeah.
five of them. Like, why are you in all those? And but you
Yeah.
stressed out too, like it's not
Yeah.
bringing anything for you. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
just the self abandonment, the lack of like self compassion, but also like, why do you feel like you need to do those things,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And also, I come from, from a family where like even my mom and I, like my sister, they're like also like
Mhm.
workaholic, and they're just like on go mode all the time. So like ambitious is just
Mm.
nature. Like, we have to accomplish this, oh, we have to get this, do it, all at once.
Mhm. Mhm. Well, that goes into my next question because we say yes to things that keep draining us. Why? As opposed to saying no to the things that would actually help us.
Mm. Because because we're normalized just, giving a helping hand, like being the helping hand, and doing things for others is, it comes naturally to just like, oh yeah, I'll do it. And then you look back at your calendar, it's like, oh wait, actually.
Yeah.
Right? So it's just an internal habit to like, especially when it's a need, right? Either from like a coworker or like you're from a relative, like, oh my God, I need your help with this. And then we just like, oh yes, I could do it. And then you look back and realize you're not able to do it. So
And then you
for
feel
instance, for
bad
me,
about reversing the
yes.
decision.
For instance, for me, I learned to not give a response right away. Right.
Good.
Even if I'm available,
Yeah.
if I know, even if I'm looking at my calendar
Yep.
right when they're asking me, and I don't see anything there, I've learned to not give a response right away. To just take a minute.
Yep.
I'm like, it's not, the world is not gonna fall apart with that answer. Like the answer doesn't have to be under pressure right instantly, right? And I've learned to say, you know what, let me get back to you. Let me see I'm gonna check my availability, and then
Yeah.
digest it and see how and when I'm available to do it. Because even though my schedule is empty, I might be available at different time and not
Mhm.
necessarily, that day that is needed.
And maybe you
So
wanna keep it empty because that emptiness is fullness too, if you plan on just resting or
yes.
taking a spa day or going for a run or whatever you wanna do, so
Yeah, yeah. And before it was just like I didn't have anything to do. Oh, I need help
Mhm.
with this. Okay, I don't have anything. I'll go ahead and I'll do it. And then 7 days a week, I was like, oh my God, I didn't rest. I didn't take any time to myself. So it was like a lot of things that I've learned throughout the
Yes.
years, and I'm grateful to now be able to, like be in this position when I'm able to help others and empower
Mhm.
others,
Yeah.
especially working women.
Yes, exactly. Where do you think people pleasing comes in all this? Because there's definitely a lot of people pleasers that feel like they have to say yes just so the other person's happy.
Yeah. Um, it might come out of fear. People just, not, just like avoiding conflict and just saying to do it or to just make themselves like, just to look good in front of others. Like, yes, I go ahead and do it. One of the things that I've learned in life is like, for instance, myself, I'm naturally a helper and I'm kind. So if someone will come to me, I'll go ahead and I help. And for me, I feel that I help because it comes out naturally.
Yeah.
And I've learned
Yeah.
for other people that I've met throughout the years that
Mhm.
they just like fear conflict and they say just to things to not go into a debate or to just
Yes.
look good in front of people.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Yeah, they do it out of kindness, they do it out of the fear, they do it out of the
Yeah.
guilt, they just feel like they have to do it. That's
Yeah.
important, and for those who just keep saying yes to stress, it's almost like, like, can you actually somebody actually become can stress become addictive? Like, can you I know there's a lot of people that feel like when life calms down, they're bored,
Mm.
like, I need some chaos, and you definitely can hear that and people who are in toxic relationships versus when they actually find a relationship with someone who's
Yeah.
not toxic and they're just like starting arguments all the time and they're just like, you're not stressing me out. Why not? I need you to stress me out, basically is what they're saying. But
Yeah.
my ultimate question is, can stress actually become addictive?
Yes, it can, right? It can when you are just so used to doing so much at once and your brain is naturally stressed out because you're doing a lot and it can become addictive. Because it's just, again, going on being on go mode and not having a lot on your plate, again, can be uncomfortable and you need to, you have to
Yeah.
find that need to like fill it because there's nothing there. So
Yeah.
it becomes like a need to, like you mentioned, like in relationship wise, right? Like if there's a toxic relationship and nobody's arguing, it's like a need for go ahead and for an argument.
Yeah.
So just and from experience, right? Just like and I for me, it's like I learned um I was stressed because I was always like doing a lot. I was,
Mm-hmm.
working full time, going to school full time, trying to get my
Wow.
daughter like in all
Daughter.
her, activities, or paying a
Mm-hmm.
babysitter, or like someone from one of my relatives going,
Mm-hmm.
picking up, dropping off, and just doing that. And when the time came when it started slowing down, you know, I
Yeah.
I was shocked. It's like, oh my God, like
It's a new
I
norm.
need to go ahead, like I need to do things, and I had to like pause. Like, I don't. Yeah. So yeah, I felt addicted to stress because it was comfortable for me. It was
Yeah.
comfortable to just do things. I wasn't unhappy. I didn't have any time to feel depressed or
Mm.
feel sad. I remember at work. I work in one of the school, one of in a high school in the Bronx for the Department of Education, and I
Mhm.
will always go with a bright smile on my face and always smiling. And some teachers will ask me, some even question if I was being sarcastic because I was like just so happy, but I was
Yeah.
just like there's no room for like downtime or feel sad. There were times I struggled financially. Couldn't get this, couldn't get that, but I
Yeah.
again having that time to feel those emotions. I became addicted to stress just by overworking myself and even, just keeping my daughter also in activities where for me, like, I people used to tell me, oh, you have to let her be a kid. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
she's been a kid. She's socializing with other kids her age in different
Mhm.
environments.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
she was learning, right? So it's like now she's able to like again like have conversation with anyone
Mhm.
and very like articulated, like has a good language, able to like, speak in public and just go also like above and beyond. And with her, she's completely different like me. Like she
Mhm.
has seen me struggle, she has seen me always on the go, and she's
Yeah.
completely the opposite. She's
Oh, she
calm.
learned, like, I'm not gonna do
Yes,
that.
she's calm, and she's like, nope, I need my 2 hours to get ready in the morning. And it's like and for me it's like, oh my God, like why can't you just do it faster?
Right,
It's like
exactly. She's, like,
I
preserving
learned
her
a lot.
peace.
Yes, so I learned a lot from her, and she also learned. I
Yeah.
guess, she watched me and she learned, things that I guess for her like wasn't healthy or wasn't
Mm-hmm.
okay, didn't work with her, and also her
Mm-hmm.
personality because we're two different, individuals. And she's like, she's an organizer. She has like a lot of great characteristic and great qualities to
Mm-hmm.
like organize time management and like all these things that I do, but she does it at a different pace. So
Yeah.
it's
And it's
just like,
okay.
yes. Yes. So she also taught me a lot throughout the
Yeah.
years, just like to also like slow down. So it's like we were both learning. And as she was transitioning to like ending high school, going off to college, I was like
Mhm.
also like on learning new things. And it has been a great transition where I'm able to again just feel at peace with what I'm
That's really
doing.
good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking you did because I was gonna ask you because it sounds like you too were just kind of like chasing stress and used to the stress. I was gonna ask you like how you got out of it. So it sounds like your daughter helped you through that based on her different mentality.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And I mean I find it funny because like also like when we travel and we plan things and I travel like with my mom, with my sister, like everyone in my family, especially the females, are always like on go mode and go mode.
Mhm.
And I was like, no, no, no. My
Yeah.
daughter,
Yeah.
she needs her space, the time, and it's just like I'm like, Nailing, you have to be ready. We're leaving at 8 o'clock, so she has to get up at a different time and just do things calmly. She does not function well with like chaos.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's people who can't function well with chaos, and people
Yeah,
they need the chaos to function. But like,
yeah.
if you're that person who's either a people pleaser or
Mhm,
it seems like you're chasing stress or addicted to stress, then I think for some, therapy can be helpful because you have to ask
mhm.
yourself, well, what's the reason I'm chasing stress or
Yeah,
addicted to stress? What happened in my past, or was it trauma that led to like a
yeah,
lack of self worth or self love?
mm,
And really, how to sit with yourself and be alone and sit with that peace because maybe we
yeah.
like need that craziness because we afraid to be with ourselves. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, yeah. So with a young and like adult population that I work, even though
Mhm.
I work with them at a non-clinical level, we do go over like those patterns and as to why, um, you know, they share the point of their lives where they are, the struggles that they go through, and I just circle it back to certain patterns and certain things that they have
Yeah.
done. How and simple things as like how you used to do things as a child, like even in the household, like who's the one showing the love, showing the affection,
Yeah.
discipline, and so on,
Yeah.
and transitioning to like as an adolescent, how do you develop like the circle of friends, how you were able to like manage and get through, even like academically or non-academically through
Hmm.
like through high school, then to like being a young adult, and then it takes them back to like that's why I'm doing what I'm doing right now, right? And
Yeah.
it's just like learning and
Yep.
understanding that because for the population that I work on a non-clinical level, it's that they need that extra push, the help,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
not necessarily feel that they need counseling. There are situations where they
Mm.
do, and in
Yeah.
the position that I'm in, either I refer them to to where they need to be referred, based if it's something, if they have to see a psychiatrist or if they have to see um a licensed
That's good.
clinician that that has to process other
Hmm.
um you know like other symptoms that I am not able to treat at the
Yeah.
platform that I treat them.
Well, that's good
Yeah,
they encounter you. It's like you're that front row, and then if they
yeah,
need the be referred out, then that's really good that
yeah.
you're out there. Because a lot of people are just like, I don't want to see no psychiatrist. But if they see you first and they've been working with
Yeah.
you, it's kind of like a nice way to ease
Transition,
people.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, because for many people, I do encourage it based on the situations that they're in, because in some
Hmm.
cases it's high levels of anxiety, high, like
Hmm. Hmm.
just major depression and things that I right now, like I'm just not working there yet because of other focuses that I have, and
Hmm.
then it goes to referral. But I do, managing other things where it's just like on the patterns, and the main thing that I emphasize on is on the
Yeah.
communication styles, because
Yeah.
I have encountered that a lot of the struggles that adults are having is coming from the like not understanding just communication from the root. And it's like there's different type of communication
Yeah.
styles. So that's
Yeah.
where I start off, and as we continue to like, to to
Yeah.
see those clients, then that's when I make the referral based on their high needs on,
Mhm.
where they're at.
That's really good. Yeah, almost going back to the basics. I'm thinking about emotional regulation, or emotional intelligence when you say that,
Yeah.
because social skills is part of that, and the self
Hmm.
awareness, emotional regulation. So communication skills,
Yeah.
like you need that in order to be able to reduce stress and
Yeah.
mental
Yeah.
wellness. Yeah, and so another thing, about stress is like it's also how we frame it. Like, do you think people are stressed because of their circumstances, or is it just because of the story that they're telling themselves about the circumstances?
Yeah. I find that it's more, it can be both, but it's also
Mhm.
it can be more what how we telling the story that it just becomes stressful, right? Because if we constantly, I'm gonna use the word nagging, right? Like nagging about like a situation, then we're already creating that narrative in our heads,
Yep.
and just by repeating it, it can
Yep.
be stressful, right? The situation can be small, can be something minimal, and it might not be stressful, but just like repeating that narrative and talking to others about it, then it just becomes, it becomes stressful.
It's the narrative. You have to reframe the situation you're going in. It's all about how you think about it, because you can have a certain situation that's happening to you, but if you think about it a different way or practice gratitude, people
Yes.
like gratitude, then it can definitely help how you live through that situation and lessen the stress. It's very important. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. It works. So I'm sure somebody's listening and they're like, wait, am I the source of my own stress? What's the first thing they could do to stop being the source of their own stress tomorrow?
I think it's self-reflection, right? Like doing like a reality check
Mhm,
and just like checking ourselves, because we're quick to see what's happening in our surroundings, and um how others are doing things or how others are making us feel. But a lot of times we don't check ourselves.
mhm,
We don't reflect and see, what am I doing? What's on
mhm,
my plate? What I'm capable of doing. So
mhm,
it's like doing that self-reflection and being in tune with ourselves to choose to do the things that we're capable of doing.
mhm. For
Yeah.
sure. And that's why in the enjoy note, I
Mhm.
break up the 5 crucial health areas into mental, physical, financial, aspirational, and social health, because I want people to be able to look at these different areas of their life.
Yeah.
What in my mental health needs to change? What in my physical health? Is there something in my physical health that's increasing my stress? Is it because I'm not taking that medication and not following up with a doctor and that's why I'm stressed? My finances. Is it because I'm not budgeting well? Am I
Yeah.
not budgeting in for my joy? Is there something in
Mhm.
my social relationships? Is there a pattern where every relationship is going wrong? The pattern is myself. What do I need to change? And of
Yeah.
course, your aspirations, your aspirational health. Is it something going on where I've kind of lost myself, lost my values or my calling for my life? And is that causing me stress? So there's usually things in your life that you can change and you can control that is going to reduce your stress.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And, as I started off also, just like pouring back to yourself. That's
Mm,
like afraid, speaking for myself, is something that can help reduce that stress, right?
mm-hmm,
Just
mm-hmm.
like changing and pouring back.
Exactly. There's always something.
Mhm.
And if you don't know like what to do, I mean, there's coaches, there's
Yes.
therapists, there's all kinds of
Yeah.
people you can talk to. There's podcasts. Anybody
Yes.
is listening, they can comment, they can ask a question. So there's always a way. So as far as people finding you, I see your Instagram page. What can they find
Yes.
on your Instagram page? What do you do mostly
Yes.
on there?
When I try, empower, just guide, and inspired, and just like empowered individuals who like high achievers. Like, yes, you can do it all. You can do it all in a healthy way, right?
Right.
There's no
Yeah.
stop. We all have different strength, and someone shouldn't feel guilty because they're doing it all, but
Mhm.
there's healthy ways of doing it.
Yes, there's
Yes.
always a healthier way of
Hmm.
doing it. It's just a matter of like the patterns, the unhealthy patterns that you've created for
Yeah.
yourself. So I always ask everyone about their own personal journey to joy. It seems like we've kind of been moving in a lot of
Yes.
your personal journey to joy throughout this episode, but tell us about how your own personal journey to joy has been.
It's, I right now I'm on a point in my life where I feel overall accomplished, right? Like going through
Nice.
the book and all the different
Yeah.
levels of like, ways that you can help yourself. I'm like overall, like financially stable, mentally, socially, physically, right? And it's
Mhm.
more again like I narrow it back down to just like pouring back to myself and yeah, and just like continue to just glow and continue to just like be me
Yeah.
and not feel guilty. I feel like
Not feel guilty.
I've set goals throughout
Mhm.
the years. Like once my daughter was born, I'm like, okay, I need to there's certain things that I need. By the age of 35, I want to be able to own my
Yeah.
house. I need to have a
Uh-huh.
master's degree. I have to have this. I have to this. And I accomplished it all. Not at 35, but I did,
Oh.
right? Because it's like, yeah, sometimes it's not the time frame, but at least what counts, it's just getting there. And that's what's for me, right?
Yeah.
Being able
Yeah.
to like accomplish, like I look back and I'm like, wow, everything on my check box, it's completed. On a house, property, like my own car, like very like, financially stable. I'm able to travel. I'm able to like work from home or work in person, like have just so much um flexibility and be okay and be well.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that reminds me because I was my residency training, and there was a doc who she had a husband, a baby, and a house at the end of the cul-de-sac. And that's how I always talk about her. I'm like, Mom, yeah, that's the friend that has a husband, a baby, and a house at the end of the cul-de-sac. Because I was single, I didn't have anything, I didn't own a house. I was like, I want that. And so it feels good because I looked for that, and I have a
Yeah.
husband, three babies, and a house at the end of the cul-de-sac. So it's like, you put that in
Yeah.
your mind, you can get those things, and that
Yeah.
journey to joy that is it's a journey, but you can
Yes.
experience the
Yeah.
joy in the
Yeah.
journey. That's for
Yes,
sure.
and one of the things that I really like loved about this, it's the one thing that I haven't accomplished. It's being a wife. So I'm not a wife
Mhm.
yet. I'm
Yes.
not. So that yes, yet. So that really like caught my attention, and it's like just seeing it all. Like wow, like I'm again checking off my boxes. I've done it all, and then it inspired me to like I'm not gonna wait to become a wife to then be like, okay, how do I do this?
There it is. So getting all
Right?
those books and learning, first
Yes.
of all, learning how to be a good wife, and also learning that it is stressful and it is work, and cherishing right now.
Yes. Yeah, so it's like it really helped me a lot to just to hear from someone, especially, and I feel like I know you, right? Just because like I met one when like being in high school, and it's
Yeah.
like just like reading from someone who I know, who I follow, and
Yeah.
seeing how like just because it's something that I want, and it's not gonna be easy. It's not easy.
Mhm.
We all have each relationship is gonna have a struggle, and again two people need to want to have it and be together to for things to function. So I got some points, and it's like, okay, can do
Hey.
things this way, that way. It might not work,
Exactly.
it might work, but at least it's just
Exactly.
like it also serves as guidance to for someone who has walked the talk.
Yeah, yes,
Yes.
and, the I don't wanna scare people, but, everything good takes work,
Yes.
I'll never forget A League of Their Own, the baseball movie where he said, "It's supposed to be hard. If it wasn't hard, everyone would do it. It's the heart that makes it great." That quote right there is got me through everything.
Yes.
That is some scripture too, but still, that is a scripture. It's in A League of Their
Yes.
Own,
Yeah.
4:11 in the Bible, so hey.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
well,
But I
thank you.
appreciate your book.
Yes, thank
I
you.
really, gain a lot of like insight from it, and I appreciate it. And I've, recommended to some of my friends that I have, spoken to. And again, like, you don't have to wait to get there to then
Mhm.
figure it out. You can try to figure it out, and then when you get there, you see what works and what doesn't work.
Exactly. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Rosa. And it's just extra special having you on here since you actually went to high school with my husband. I'm like, you knew him when he was a peanut head. He'll say that himself. He's like, the girls didn't like me when I was in high school. I couldn't get nothing. I was the friend that they would just talk to about other boys. That's what he would say. I was like, well, you a super catch right now. So, so
Yeah,
hilarious.
I don't remember having like a lot of like lengthy conversations because I was a freshman.
Mm,
Like English, I was still like didn't feel like fluent in the language. So even though he speaks Spanish,
mm.
like I was like very like skeptical, and a freshman hanging out with the seniors just didn't make it any easier. So it was just like I was just a lot of time
Yeah.
just there, but I've grown out of my shyness and being able to like to speak, to people and not being afraid to just
Yeah.
like have a conversation.
Well, his story
But
was
yeah.
similar because he learned English at like 8. Like he was just sitting up in an English class because he looked like a black boy. So they put him with the English speakers and he was just like, I don't know what y'all saying. So it was that's how he learned it too.
Yeah, I thought well, I came to the state when I was 10, so it was a
Okay.
challenge. It was a complete
Gotcha.
challenge. So when high school came, it was terrifying for me. But I pulled it
Mm.
through and I had my ups and downs and gracefully I am where I am today and able to like
Mm-mm-mm.
advocate for others and help others who like even struggle through high school. And actually that was like what made me become a school social worker
Oh, nice.
because I felt that, back then the schools in New York were completely different than what they are now. And I felt like I didn't have the support um,
Hmm. Hmm.
in the school. And as a young adult, I'm like, wow, if I would have just like had some support within the school, I would have made different choices, right? Just like everybody else, right?
Yeah.
If you would have the
Yeah.
guidance. So as I
Hmm.
continued my education, I shifted over from like I did like business management, I did organizational leadership, and then I shifted over to like this is me, like social worker, right?
It
Like this
felt
is like
good.
what I love to do. And working in the school, because when I started in the Department of Education in New York, I started as a parent coordinator, then became the principal secretary, and then while I continued my education,
Mm.
I became a school social worker.
Mm.
So then even when I was like the principal secretary, I was like, no, like I'm already doing, I might as well go for my education, right? Like get that degree. And
Mhm.
then I became that person that I needed when I was in high school.
Oh, that's usually everyone's stories. It's like the person that you
Yes.
needed in high school or that person that did help you in
Yeah.
when you were a child. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. That's wonderful. And now you're giving
Yeah.
back, and that's where the fulfillment
Yes.
is
Yes.
important, but you're also
I
giving back to
remember,
yourself.
yes, yes. I remember only like one social worker in my high school that were like, oh my God, over 1,000 students. And in the school in New York where I worked, it was, I want to say approximately 500 to 600 students back then.
Mhm.
And they have full social workers, bilinguals,
Mm,
like few of them are bilingual.
mm.
So it's like how different things have changed from back then to now. And especially because now, they have focused more on the social emotional learning of the students. They've been pushed more.
For
So
sure, for
yes.
sure. Oh,
So,
I'm gonna have to have you back because 'cause I'm thinking about all these other questions that
I'll be
can't be asked
here.
of
I'm
you.
here. I'm
This
here.
is awesome. Well, thank you so much, Rosa, for
Thank you
coming
for
on. I really
having me.
appreciate it. Have a good one. This has been an Enjoy Life production. If you're in a crisis, don't hesitate. Call, text, or chat 988 for immediate support. Please note, this podcast is for informational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional treatment. If you're looking for therapy or medication management through Enjoy Life, visit www.drenjoylife.com to request a consultation. I'm licensed in 13 states. I accept Aetna in Georgia, Florida, and Virginia. Be sure to grab your copy of the Enjoy Note to help you on your wellness journey. Also check out Inspire Joy for the wife, mom, boss to help you balance it all without losing yourself. Better yet, get the full Joy bundle for just $45. Remember, Journey to Joy Live is every Thursday at 7 p.m. Thank you for joining me, and until next time, may you continue to transform stress into joy.